Hello, Karen here, and welcome to day 14 of this 30-day phrasal verb challenge. If you're new to my channel and would like to learn more about this challenge, then please watch my day 0 video. I'll put a link to that video up here and also down in the description box below. But of course, you're more than welcome to just watch this video, that's fine too. And if you are part of this 30-day challenge, then you would have already watched yesterday's video. We're going to be listening to the same woman again today. So by the end of this video, you'll probably be sick of listening to her as well. And do you remember what to be sick of something or someone means? I talked about this idiom in my day 9 video. It means that you've seen or heard something or someone so many times that you just don't want to see or hear them again. She says one sentence today, and it's a short one, but she uses a phrasal verb that's used very often, which is why I want to talk about it today. I'll play it 4 times as per usual, twice at the normal speed, and then another 2 times at a slightly slower speed. And then afterwards, we can talk about this phrasal verb. Okay, let's go.
I did end up taking a photo. I did end up taking a photo. I did end up taking a photo. I did end up taking a photo.
I did end up taking a photo. I want to talk about 2 things today. One is the phrasal verb, of course, which I'll talk about in a second. But first, I want to talk about did here. She used did here to emphasize what she did, which was to take a photo, to give you this extra feeling that she took a photo. She could have just said, I ended up taking a photo. That's fine too. But she wanted to emphasize, she wanted you to pay attention to what she did, taking a photo. This is very subtle and it doesn't add any extra meaning to her sentence. It just adds an extra feeling. I actually used do in this way in yesterday's video. Watch it again and listen out for it. Listen carefully and see if you can hear this word. What was the sentence and why do you think I used it there? Do is one of those small words that's used in a lot of different ways. I've talked about these small, easy words before. They might look easy, but they're used very often and in very different ways. So if you really want to take your English to that next level, I suggest that you study these small words as well. Study how they're used in different situations. Don't forget about them.
I did end up taking a photo.
Now let's talk about the phrasal verb that she used, to end up. This is a really nice phrasal verb because it can be used in a lot of different sentences. And it really only has one meaning, so it's also an easy one to learn and an easy one to practice using. It has the word end in it, so we're talking about the end of something. Where does something end? It can be the end of a period of time, or if you've been doing all these things, what happens at the end of all these things. One example is if you're traveling, say around Australia. You don't have a detailed itinerary. You don't have a detailed plan of where you'll be going. You just want to go from city to city. So you start in Sydney and then you go to Melbourne, and then someone in Melbourne suggests that you go to Ballarat. And then you go there and someone there suggests that you go to Adelaide, and so on. So by the end of your trip, after Sydney, Melbourne, Ballarat, Adelaide, Barossa Valley, by the end of your trip, you ended up going to all these different places that you'd never heard of before, cities that you didn't know existed before. Or maybe you're trying to decide what to do this weekend. You're talking to your friend about it, and by the end of the conversation, you still hadn't decided. The weekend comes and goes, and on Monday you see your friend again. She might ask you, what did you end up doing on the weekend? You had all these different options. You were talking to her about them last week, but you couldn't decide which one you wanted to do. Now it's Monday, so she wants to know which one you decided to do. What did you end up doing on the weekend? And you can reply back with what you finally decided to do. We ended up going to my sister's place. We ended up watching a movie. We ended up going to the zoo. So what you finally decided here is what you ended up doing. And like I said earlier, this phrasal verb can be used in a lot of different sentences, but we're always talking about the end of something, the end of a period of time, or after you've done all of these things. So it has this feeling that you've done all of these things, so you ended up here, or you will end up here. In today's listening practice, she said, I did end up taking a photo. Maybe she wasn't sure if this is a good spot to take a photo. Should I take a photo here? Is this a good spot? She wasn't sure, so maybe she walked around looking for a better spot. But at the end of a period of time, however long this was, she eventually decided to take a photo. She ended up taking a photo. And one last example. Maybe while you've been watching this video, you've been trying to decide whether to give this video a thumbs up or not. So after a period of time, now, you eventually decided to give it a thumbs up. So you ended up giving it a thumbs up, right? Let's listen to this very short sentence a few more times at the normal speed.
I did end up taking a photo. I did end up taking a photo.
Now it's your turn. Now, because this phrasal verb gives the feeling that you did all of this, I'd like you to write a story today. In your story, talk about what all of this is, so then you can tell us what ended up happening here. Thank you for joining me today for day 14, and I'll see you back here tomorrow for day 15.